1 second. What's up, guys? How we doing today? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a wicked day. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. Rockin' Ed. We are live on YouTube. Oh, I'm streaming. What? Grounded. Judkins, Browner, Wilson. We want to go probably Judkins playing Las Vegas. Sorry, guys. I got to freaking. What is going on here? Oh, man. Crap. Oh, that's why. Shit. Oh, crap. That's probably why. All right. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'd probably go Judkins against the Las Vegas defense. That's probably why I haven't been getting any traction lately. Damn it. I didn't even think about that. Oh, crap. Stupid. All right. Yes, we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble, as well as TikTok. Let's make it happen. Oh, man. I can't believe I've been doing that. That sucks. Like, for real, for real. What's up, guys? Blinkster, Shadow, Duckwing. Damn, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. You're wicked. Ducky Wing can fly. Yes, he can. Waddle and Mecca and Rome. What two would you trade for Jamar? I mean, I like Waddle's schedule more than the other two going forward. So, like, if he would do it for a Mecca and Rome, I would totally be all for that. But you may very well have to give up Waddle in that trade. I mean, all things being equal, you probably have to give up Waddle and Emeka. But I would try and get rid of Emeka and Rome, keep Waddle and Jamar, and rock it out. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Damn, I'm gonna trade for Lamar. Trade for Jamar right before Joe Burrow's coming back. This guy's gonna do that? Damn, he must need. I mean, to be fair, if I needed wide receivers, I'd probably do that too. Especially with Jamar out. Oh man, if I needed wide receivers and I had to win this week, yeah, I would do that. But all my trade deadlines are done. I can't trade anymore as of today. Trade deadline is November 22nd, which is today. I wonder, did that transaction go through? Because there was going to be I have Waddle. Oh, yeah. Gus picked up Marvin Mims, magnet hands. Aha. Hot Chubb dropped Garrett Wilson. Hey, what's that today? Shit, he's not going to be available till next period. Two new transactions. Quentin, what's happening? User Coco, yo. Hope you guys are having a wicked day. Jackson Dart, the Dartian. Picked up Green Bay. And who's this? Oh, yeah. Trade. AJ Brown for Romo Dunze in my league. Not me, but that's a trade. Nothing, brother. Just chilling. Trying to decide who to start in my one league. I've got a few different options, but nobody like definitive. But also like a few that are really good. Oh, come on. Because, like, I got no Drake London, so I need a flex. Assuming I play T. Higgins, right? I got David Montgomery, BJ Hall, or sorry, Brees Hall, AJ Brown, and Sean Tucker. Damn, thank you for the live or for the like. Appreciate you. Yeah, so Sean Tucker, AJ Brown, Brees Hall, David Montgomery. Assuming we play T. Higgins, which I don't see why we wouldn't. And I need a flex guy. Brees Hall is so inconsistent. You're not wrong. And against Baltimore, like I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan too, and it's on the road in Baltimore. Like I don't see the upside there. Baltimore's healthy now. I don't know. I think it's got to be either David Montgomery against New York or AJ Brown against Dallas. Could just play Sean Tucker and have the Sunday night game. Wyatt, what's happening? Odunze, Flowers, or Pittman? I wouldn't start Pittman. What are you looking for here? Wide receiver 2 or a flex? Damn, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. You're wicked. Because if I'm looking for a flex, I might take Flowers, wide receiver 2. See, that's the thing. It's gonna be either Zay has like 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, or they're not gonna be using him a lot because Derrick Henry and Lamar just run all over the place. So like, I think we take Rome Odunze. Because Chicago's got a half decent matchup too, right? Pittsburgh, I think. Yeah, Pittsburgh. So I think Odunze would probably be. I also have Henry. Yeah. Okay. So then you know the experience. the it's I feel like it's normally one or the other. It's not both. And I don't know that the Jets put up enough of a fight that that Zay and Henry both have to have a good game. So I think for those reasons, I would probably take the I would probably take the floor of Odunze because you know the floor of Zay. Zay's probably going to get 6 catches for 70 yards and maybe a touchdown. Actually, that's probably what Zay's going to get you. And I feel like that's a good way to go. So I mean, there you go. I'm fairly confident in that. 6 catches, 70 yards, touchdown, maybe 2 for Zay. I like that. I think that's what you're going to get. So there you go. I feel like that's what you're going to put on the bench. Higgins could be the best choice. Yeah, no, I that's what I mean. I think Higgins is the way to go for me in that one league. That's why I'm looking at a flex. I'm thinking that I want to put Sean Tucker in just because he did wicked last week and do the Sunday night game. But I don't know. Michael, I was offered Judkins and Mayfield for Genty and Knicks. I mean, I would do Judkins just because I value him the way that we used to value Nick Chubb, perennial first round fantasy draft pick, argument for number 1 overall. I feel like he's got that. So, in my opinion, no expert by any stretch of the imagination, just another guy. I think that Judkins is the best player in that deal. For that reason, I would take it. I hope that helps. Trade Genty for Odunze? Ugh. I mean, I don't want either of those. So, I mean, if you have to, yeah, sure. Z Smitty, I'm in a 10-man league, narrowly sitting in first place. Today's the trade deadline. Drake London is panicking. Herbert, Bijan, Jacobs, CD, Rome, Bowers, Chase Brown, Bucky. He desperately wants Chase Brown. You know what? I would do that. I would do Chase Brown and I mean, I don't know, man, because you got to think like Drake London's out right now, right? So Like you might be trading for somebody that's injured. Chase for Olave straight up. Yeah, like I like Chase Brown going forward, especially now that Joe Burrow's coming back. Like I like him more than I did before. If anything, I don't like Bijan on your team. I don't like the schedule. Like I don't know, did Kirk Cousins just like forget how to play? Right? Yeah, I don't know. I might just keep my team right there. Kind of hope for the best because you got Jaden Reed coming back. That was a good pickup. I hope that helps. Hope it works out. Full PPR, Javonte, Hall, or Judkins. I would do Javonte, or I would. You know what? I would probably do Judkins and Hall because I don't know, man. That Philadelphia defense looked really good last week. Like I don't know if I want to do that. I hope it works out though. Jacobs or Michael Wilson? I mean, who are we benching or who are we playing that we are benching Josh Jacobs? This guy's going to tell me Rico Dowdle, isn't he? That's crazy in and of itself. We're going to bench your best running back? Damn. Hey, Pierce or Juwan Johnson for flex. I would probably take Juwan Johnson. I know that Pierce is a really good he's really good all of a sudden, and he's a really they call him a go-to guy, right? So I don't like the Kansas City matchup this week. On the road in Kansas City, it's going to be cold. I don't love that matchup. At least that Tyler Shaw guy likes that Juwan Johnson, and it's indoors. I would probably go that way. Well, Jacobs is not hurt. He's just questionable. He's got a bruise on his knee. Yeah, I don't know. Ozzy, trade away Cook and Stevenson for Rice and Saquon. Did I get fleeced? I only think you got fleeced because I'm a huge believer in the Madden curse. So I think you traded away Cook and Stevenson for Rashee Rice. But I don't even think you got fleeced there because I don't love Cook's schedule going forward. Stevenson at best is a 50-50 split now. So yeah, I don't love that. I don't hate that trade. I don't mind it. Brees Hall, Javonte, Travis, or Jalen Warren. Probably Jalen Warren, Pittsburgh, right? Playing Chicago. They stink. I don't want any part of that. So what's the like? I don't want any part of going against that Philadelphia defense. But that's my question. Jacobs isn't hurt, but like, who are we playing that we're benching Josh Jacobs? Like, yeah, if he's hurt, obviously we bench him, and there's no question. But like, who are we benching if he's healthy? Or sorry, who are we playing? That's what I want to know. Garrett Wilson and Aaron Jones for DeAndre Swift. No, I like Aaron Jones going forward. I actually value him pretty high. I like the Minnesota schedule. Purdy or Stafford. Stafford's going to throw for 3 or 4 touchdowns, just so you know. So if you are confident having that on your bench while waiting for Purdy to hopefully do that on Monday night, that's on you. You can't go wrong either way. And I also tend to lean towards the Monday night games too, just to give myself something to watch. So I might put Birdie. But it's going to be really hard when you look at Matt Stafford, 250 yards and 3 touchdowns sitting on your bench. 25, 27 fantasy points, and you're like, motherfucker. Just so you know. Emeka Egbuka, Garrett Wilson for Rashee Rice. Damn, if he'll do that, hell yeah. Rashee Rice is wicked. Patrick Mahomes loves him. Do that. Hell yeah. Brissett or Baker for this week, I would probably do Brissett. I don't love the LA matchup for Baker. I'm sitting Baker for Caleb Williams. But I don't. I don't hate Baker this week because as much as it's on the road against LA, it's indoors, right? And so like I don't hate him, but I would probably do Brissett this week. Also, didn't he just set the record for fucking completions? How are we gonna bench this guy? I picked him up just because of that. I thought we were playing him. Did I mess up? I thought he was literally the best quarterback ever. Watson or Singletary at flex? Oh my god, neither. Probably Singletary though, because I like at the very least New York's playing Detroit indoors, so I like Singletary. As much as that Detroit defense is really good, right? Like you're kind of hoping for a touchdown or two from Watkins. And last week, if Watson doesn't get those two touchdowns, it's not even really a question. You're probably not even thinking of starting him anyways. So yeah, I think we go Singletary at the flex. Warren or Myers? I probably lean towards Myers. Warren, I don't love that matchup against Kansas City. I assume you're talking Tyler Warren, and we're going double tight end format. I don't love the Kansas City matchup. On the road, outdoors, it's gonna be cold. Yeah, I think we do Myers. Do I like sending? Oh, Jalen Warren. Oh, okay. They're playing Chicago. That kind of changes things. I mean, are we in a PPR? Because that might lean towards Myers a little bit, but like Jalen Warren's playing Chicago, whose defense is stinky. I actually have Jalen Warren. And I'm liking that he's playing. Chicago's 22nd ranked run defense. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I might lean towards Jalen Warren, take the running back points. What is this guy talking about? I do not like sending Quinshon Judkins for anyone because I value him really high. You guys maybe don't, but I think of him the way we used to think of Nick Chubb, right? Perennial first rounder, overall number one overall argument fantasy pick, right? And for that reason, right there, I would also do Judkins over Diggs. Playing Las Vegas at home, I feel like they're going to lean on him. He's going to get 30 carries so that they can take as much pressure off Shador as they can. That's what I feel like. What do we know, anyways, right? But and you know what? That's probably not going to happen because if you just heard anything that I said, that is the most logical explanation for what's going to happen in that Cleveland Las Vegas game, which therefore means it's not even going to come close to happening. Judkins is not even going to be a factor. They're going to play some like fourth string guy they just signed off the practice squad just because, fantasy managers can't have anything nice. Emeka and Garrett for Lamb. I mean, I don't love. Damn, thank you, Michael. I appreciate you, Adam. I love you. I don't love Dallas's schedule going forward, but you can do worse than trading for CD Lamb. And just to piggyback off that, that's why I don't think Trevion Henderson is going to be what we want him to be this week. I think Ramondre Stevenson is going to be right there with him because Mike Vrabel hates us. And so I don't think that we can, like, as much as we're not benching Trevion Henderson, we are definitely, I think we're going to be in for freaking a little bit of a headache because I can't see Ramondre Stevenson coming back and not doing anything. It sucks. We can't have nothing nice, fantasy managers. Daniel Jones or Caleb? I'm going Caleb. I don't love that Kansas City matchup. I have mentioned that. On the road against Kansas City, a very good Kansas City defense. In the cold, right? It's going to be cold. Yeah, I don't love that matchup for Daniel Jones. I'm doing Caleb over Baker. So, right, if that means anything. Yoshavaz, Drudy, or Ferguson, drop one. I mean, I like if you can stomach it, Cleveland's schedule going forward. So you might want to keep Judy, but if you had to think, Judy is the one that you drop from there. But also, Yosavash is only good for this game. So, like, I might, if we have to drop one before this week, I'm dropping Yosavash. Just because after this week, Jamar Chase comes back and then he's going to be irrelevant. And at the very least, I don't care. Like, I don't hate Cleveland's schedule going forward. I actually tried to pick up Judy in one league. No problem, man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. CD or Henry at the flex? I mean, I don't care to go against that Philadelphia defense, but just out of curiosity, I mean, I would lean towards Josavash for this week because I don't think that Shador is going to have to do a lot. I think they're going to lean a lot on the run game, and Quinshon Judkins is going to have a big game. So I don't think that Judy's going to have a big game this week. I think that Josavash is going to be the one this week. But then after this week, he's nothing because Jamar Chase is back, right? So yeah, I wouldn't drop him. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So just to go on, like, who are we benching or who are we playing that we're benching CeeDee Lamb or Derrick Henry? Just out of curiosity. This guy's going to tell me Rico Dowdle. I know it. 100% he's going to tell me Rico Dowdle over CeeDee Lamb. Jesus Christ. Start Brees Hall, Hunter, Tucker. I don't hate Hunt's. I was reading a thing that DeForest Buckner from Indianapolis isn't going to play, so Hunt actually has a lot better matchup this week than he originally did earlier in the week. So I would probably play Hunt. As much as I don't hate Tucker this weekend, I mean, last weekend, what did he do? 140 and 3 tutties? What if he only does half that, right? That's 70 yards and maybe 2 touchdowns. That's still, 18, 19 fantasy points, right? So, if he even does half of what he did last week, that's what I mean. I don't hate him this week. But I think Hunt is the way to go because DeForest Buckner is out. Nikki, what's happening? Hello. Yo. Sean Tucker, PJ Washington for my last flex spot. That being said, right, I would and that's what I mean. Like, what happens if Tucker does half of what he did last week? 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, right? So what if he does the same thing, right? What if he goes for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you have him on your bench, and you're like, man, I could have used that 25 fantasy points in Sunday Night Football. You know what I mean? So no problem at all, man. I hope it helps. I really do. AJB or Olave or Rome. I mean, I would probably go A.J. Brown just because they're playing Dallas. You saw the concerted effort of them to try and get him the ball last week. That's probably the way to go. Olave has been really good. If it's PPR, I can get into that. I think I'll start Sean Tucker over P. You know what? I think you do anyways. I think he's earned your trust. And with no Bucky again this week, right? You can't and that's what I mean. Like, no Bucky again this week. So what if he only does half of what he did last week? 70 yards and 2 touchdowns is still a really good night. And what if he does the same thing and he does 150 and 3 touchdowns again? And you're like, man, I just left 35 points on my bench in Sunday Night Football and that I could have needed. So yeah, I mean, I'm starting him with confidence. As much as Parker Washington has been really good, don't get me wrong. I do think that Jacoby Myers is kind of getting more familiar. I also don't care for Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't like him really as a quarterback for fantasy purposes. Don't get me wrong. In real life, he's really good, and he's a really good real life quarterback. And that team is going places because of him. But as a fantasy quarterback, I don't love him, right? Like, he doesn't really do what we need him to do. So, yeah. I hope that helps, right? I really do. I hope it works out. I have Sean Tucker going too. I don't have Parker Washington going, but I have Tucker going. So I hope it works out. Start Lamar or Jalen Hurts? Oh, man. Now that's a fucking question. Holy. Sorry, Pierce Booty or Knight. I think Booty, right? I'm playing him in 2 separate leagues. So I can only imagine he's going to have the game of his life. And for that reason, I would play Booty over those 3. Sorry. Now, start Lamar, Genty, Judy, Jennings, Slayton, Hunt, pick 3. Wow. Genty, Jennings, Hunt. There's your 3. Okay. Now, start Lamar or Jalen Hurts. Holy Mackinac. Would your advice be to somebody who's about to start fantasy football? Don't draft Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson on the same team. Because then you end up with decisions like this. I mean, I would probably say that Jalen Hurts is the way to go. Just because they're playing the worst defense. But, like, you got to know that Lamar is going to get 70, 60 yards rushing, maybe a touchdown or two, probably 200 yards and a touchdown or two against passing, right? So I think, like, if you're okay, I'm pretty sure Lamar gets 30 fantasy points. Like, I don't see him having another dud like last week, and especially coming off last week where he did have a dud, and he didn't really have anything to do in a tough division game against Cleveland. So I think he's going to bounce back and he's going to do really well. That being said, Dallas is the worst defense, although they've been getting better, right? Like the trades that they made, getting Quinnen Williams, that was big. The linebacker they got from somewhere, Tennessee, I think it was, he's really good. So, like, they're better now, and they also have what's his face coming back, Trevon Diggs. Is that his name? Trevon Diggs, I think. Trevion, I don't know, but yeah, I think, like, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so I would choose Lamar if you're asking me who I would choose. But I kind of think that Jalen is the answer. But at the same time, like, it's at home against the Jets, whose defense stinks now. So, like, I'm telling you, 30 points is coming for Lamar. What would your advice be to someone who's about to start fantasy football? I don't know. When you gotta know the you know what? One thing I would do right away is do a few mock drafts. If you download the Yahoo app, I don't know if you can do it anymore now that the seasons have started. You probably could, but I would consider doing a few mock drafts before you start playing, like before you're about to start your league, because then you start to get familiar with players' names, where players are being drafted, how you can kind of gain some value. Now, to branch off of that, I do that all the time and then get into my drafts, and it's completely different. I have no idea what my guys are thinking, like what my league mates are thinking. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm so confused. But at the same time, you kind of learn which players get drafted where, what names to kind of look out for. And then you come on shows like this and try and see if somebody can help you with your lineup decisions. Brissett or Goff. I mean, I don't know how you sit Jared Goff. I hope that helps. I really do. Yeah, I do hope that helps. Good luck in your starting your journey. I don't know how you stick Jared Goff at home this week against Giants, right? They stink. I think that's your answer. Traded away Bijan for Amon-Ra and Rice? No way. You have Gibbs on. Whoa, you have Bijan, Gibbs, and CMC? Damn. Are your league mates fucking sleeping? You traded away Bijan for Amon-Ra and Rashee Rice, and this guy gave you Amon-Ra and Rashee Rice for Bijan? Damn. That was a good trade, man. I don't love Bijan's schedule. I mean, I don't love Kansas City's schedule, so Rashee Rice is kind of iffy, but that's a good trade, man. Damn, how the hell did you pull that off? Juwan Johnson or Ferguson this week? I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense. They made a really good Detroit offense look really mediocre on Monday or Sunday. So I don't want any part of that defense. No, thank you. So I would go with Johnson. Especially that Shaw kid has really liked him, and they're indoors. Yeah, as much as Dallas is indoors too. Pierce or Dobbs? I mean, I'd probably go Dobbs. I don't love that Kansas City matchup. Montgomery or Warren? Man, Montgomery. Damn, that's a good one. I might go Montgomery at home against the Giants. You got to figure they'll be up. As much as Pittsburgh's playing Chicago, but Pittsburgh's playing Chicago. Chicago's actually really good. They're weirdly good this year. I don't understand that. I would go Brissett over Jones. Didn't Brissett just set the record for pass completions? Isn't he like literally number one ever in football history? How do we bench him, man? But I don't love that matchup for Jones, Kansas City. On the road in the cold, yeah, I don't love that matchup. I hope it works out. Flex one, Shaheed, Myers, or Watson. I'd probably go Myers. I don't love Shaheed. I think he's going to be better in real life than he will in fantasy. I don't love wide receivers getting traded midseason. Watson, if he didn't get those 2 touchdowns last week, you're not even thinking about him. So yeah, I think Myers, and also Trevor Lawrence is really connecting with him. So how do you feel about this trade? Chase Brown and Wandale for Henry and AJ Brown. I mean, I love it. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Boom. Yeah, man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. I really do. I also love Derrick Henry's schedule going forward. Like all fucking Baltimore Ravens going forward. Man, they play the Jets this week, Cincinnati twice, Pittsburgh, New England, and then Green Bay in the championship. Okay, fine, whatever. We figure out the championship when we get there. All the Baltimore Ravens should be friggin' in play. Rosario, thank you for the questions, guys. You guys are wicked. Double tap if you agree with what I'm saying, if you think I'm full of it, if you like the players, right? If you like the picks, let me know. Yosavash, Parker, or Mooney. I would probably go Yosavash. No Jamar Chase. They got to throw the ball to somebody, and it won't be T. Higgins all game. I don't know how you can start Darnell Mooney with any sort of confidence also. Johnny, Yosavash, Worthy, Theo, Gainwell, Dortch. Holy fuck. Oh, start 2. I mean, I like the Dorchinator. I like him, especially in PPR. If we're PPR, I go the Dorchinator, past the Dorchy to the left-hand side, and Yosavash. Damn, but it's hard to pass up on Theo. Jameis Winston, Mr. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Oh, indoors. Oh. I hope it works out. Drop Quentin Johnson or Dubes. Oh my God, drop them both. I mean, for real. Like, when are you going to use them? I would drop both. Chase, Tez, or Pearsall for my flex. I mean, you would obviously say Pearsall because he's playing Carolina at home on Monday. That LA defense is for real, right? So yeah, I don't love if yeah, like, and that's what I mean. Obviously, the answer is Pearsall, but Emmanuel Wilson or Dobbs for flex. Oh my God, neither. I mean, the answer is obvious. If Jacobs plays, it's not Wilson. If he doesn't play, it's Wilson. There you go. There's your answer. EP, I got JT, Kyron, Swift, and Henderson. Who should I start? I mean, I don't love Kyron. I haven't loved Kyron because LA's really leaned on the pass, right? So I mean, that's probably your 3, JT, Swift, and Henderson. Although, like, Stevenson being back is going to kill you. So, just so you know that, because, like, let's get real. Whoa, hey, man, stop that. Stop that. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm saying let's get real here. Fantasy managers really can't have nothing nice. And so when, Jesus, man. So, because of that, I don't think that Mike Vrabel is going to let us have Trevion Henderson all to ourselves. I think he's going to be paired up with Stevenson and just be a thorn in our side. Just because, we fantasy managers can never have nothing nice. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. I really do. Knicks and Jones. Knicks on a bye, but Brissett's available. I would pick up Brissett if I could. And like I don't love Denver's schedule up until the playoffs. So like if you need wins, I might consider dropping Knicks. But yeah, I don't love Jones this week again on the road against Kansas City in the cold. Yeah, I don't. That's a good defense, man. Start two, Devontae Olave or Michael Wilson. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know. Michael Wilson just had 15 catches, right? Like, how do you sit him? Also, Jacoby Brissett just set the record for pass completions, making him literally the best quarterback ever. So I don't know, man. I honestly don't know because I have Devontae Smith and I can't start him with any kind of confidence, but I have to start him. So like, uh Nick Folk or Chris Boswell. I would go Boswell. I like Boswell as a kicker. He's good. Pittsburgh's kind of like a good team to have their kicker playing Chicago. Yeah, that's the way that I would go. Swift or Henderson? Oh my god. I mean, the obvious answer is Henderson, but we all know that Henderson is going to be in a timeshare now with Ramondre Stevenson because heaven forbid we should ever have something nice as fantasy managers. And I don't think that Henderson is going to have the games that he's been having. That's just my thoughts on it, right? I hope I'm wrong. Loveland or Hawkinson? I mean, I don't love the Green Bay matchup, so I would probably say Loveland. Also, Pittsburgh's defense is kind of shosty against tight end coverage, so hope that helps. Hope it works out. Dak or Darnold? Oh my God, neither. I think we just hope for the points with Darnold because I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense. They made a really good Detroit team look really mediocre last week, so I don't know if I want any part of them. For that reason, I would choose Darnold and hope that the run game doesn't just kill it all day. Mooney, Pierce, or Pearsall. I mean, I don't know how we can start Mooney with any kind of confidence. And I don't love that Indianapolis matchup against Kansas City on the road in the cold. I think for those reasons, we start Pearsall. But like, did Kirk Cousins just like forget how to play football? Like, and see, that's what I mean. Like, I think Mooney's gonna eventually, like, I think he's gonna be wicked this weekend, just because we're all kind of weary about playing him, and like, that's what I mean. Like, did Kirk Cousins just like forget how to play football? Like, he just doesn't know anymore. Like, I don't know, man. I don't think that he just forgot how to play football. I think he's really good still. And for that reason, I think Mooney's going to be wicked. But I just don't know how we start him with any sort of confidence. Yeah, okay, Drake London's been going to be out, but he's friggin' he's only had 3 catches in the last 3 weeks or 4 catches, right? So, I mean, yeah, Drake London's going to be out and they got to throw the ball to somebody. But, I mean, do they? Like, that's what I mean. Did Kirk Cousins just forget how to play football? Gonzo, Emeka, or Adams, Emeka, or Smitty? Who's Smitty? Devontae Smith, I guess. And I mean, you're probably looking for a touchdown or 2 with Adams. I mean, I don't really know between those two because like with Adams, without a touchdown, it's not like he's going 8 catches for 150 yards and no touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's going to be 3 catches for 12 yards and 2 touchdowns. So without the touchdowns, I don't know. Like, was he really good last week? I won, so I didn't really notice if he was good or not. But You know what I mean? And I'm assuming we're saying Devontae Smith playing the worst defense, right? So Pearsall a start. Yeah, I mean, why not? Henderson going to give the same value now that he's splitting? 100% no. And if anything, I think I don't even know why, but I would assume that he's going to be on the wrong side of a 60-40 split, just because I don't know, Mike Vrabel doesn't like head coaches in football do not like fantasy football, and they don't care for fantasy football managers, and heaven forbid we ever have something nice. So I think we're going to be really disappointed in Henderson going forward. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But Booty, I would play Booty because I'm playing him against him in 2 leagues. So for that reason, I can only imagine he's going to have the game of his life. 7 catches, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, somewhere along those lines. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Kevin, Chase Brown, or JMO? I would do JMO. Chase Brown has statistically the worst defense that he's playing against. They've only given up 50 yards to 1 running back. I do, however, hope that changes because I have to use Chase Brown in 1 league. So, Kevin, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Just out of curiosity, who are we sitting or who are we starting to sit Chase Brown, who was drafted as your number 1, at worst, number 2 running back? This guy's going to tell me he's got Rico Dowdle. We're starting Rico Dowdle over Chase Brown, who was our 2nd, at worst, 3rd round draft pick. Start Egbuka or Odunze. Judkins. All right. All right. I'll live with that. Judkins and who? Pick 2, Knight, Hunt, Shaw Tucker. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really care for that Arizona backfield right now. Let's get real here. They don't even know what they're doing. So for that reason, no DeForest Buckner from Indianapolis. So I would play Kareem Hunt. And Sean Tucker, I mean, 140 and 3 touchdowns last week, right? What if he does half of that and does 70 yards and a touchdown or 2, right? That's still serviceable. What if he does that again and goes for 140 and 3 touchdowns in Sunday Night Football, and you've got him on your bench, and you're thinking, man, I could really use, 35 fantasy points right about now. So I don't know. I don't know how we don't start Sean Tucker. Yeah, okay, it's on the road in LA against a very good defense, but that's still indoors, right? I don't think they're going to be totally out of it. Pierce or Addison. I might start Pierce in that one. I don't know how we can start Addison with any sort of confidence with JJ McCarthy. You'd like to think that McCarthy would be all right, but again, on the road against a very good Green Bay defense, I don't know how much of Jordan Addison I want. You're hoping for a touchdown, I think. Because I don't think you're getting 7 catches, 120 yards out of Jordan Addison, right? I think it's going to be 2 catches for 25 yards and a touchdown or 2 if he provides value at all. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Sean Tucker, Juwan Dennings, Juwan Johnson. I mean, that's what I just finished talking about, right? What if Sean Tucker does half of what he did last week and does 70 yards and a touchdown or 2? That would be wicked. What if he does the same as he did last week, right? Okay, maybe he doesn't do the same, but if he does half, that's more than serviceable, right? That being said, I love doing the Monday night games. I tend to lean towards the Monday nights just to give me something to watch. But I feel like Sunday night's not that bad. And yeah, also it's indoors. I don't know. Anything can happen, right? Any given Sunday. That's what they say. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Lamar or Brissett. I talked about this earlier, actually. You got to figure Lamar is going to get 30 points. So if you're okay with seeing that on your, because like you got to figure Lamar, 50, 60, 70 yards rushing, a touchdown or two, uh, 200 yards, a touchdown or two passing, right? So, right. And that's like realistic numbers that you can expect him to put up. So I think for those reasons, he's going to get like 25, 30 fantasy points. That being said, Jacoby Brissett just set the record for completions, making him by virtue the number one quarterback ever, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so I would do Lamar all day. But that's obviously I'm a little bit biased. I mean, they're also playing the Jets at home. Like I can't. If you're basing it off last week, they played Cleveland on the road, a division rival who plays them really good all the time. So that ain't happening again. Not a chance. Flex Worthy, Godwin, or Addison. Oh my God, neither. Good Lord. I would probably do Godwin just because it's the Sunday night game and it gives me something to watch, but I don't feel confident with any of those, if I'm being honest. I hope it works out though. Claudio, Tootin, or Bam Knight. I mean, I think you got to go Bam. He's the starter, right? So take the starter versus the backup, I would think. Jones or Brissett. I don't love Jones's matchup against Kansas City this weekend. That on the road in the cold against a very good Kansas City defense. I don't trust. I don't love that matchup for Jones. Kenneth or Kamara, both are questionable currently. I know what happened with Kamara because I know that Kenneth just happened on Friday. He was perfectly healthy all the way up until Friday. For that reason, I don't know that I would want that. Kamara's presence on injury report has been a consistent. Okay, so limited Thursday, limited Friday. All right, yeah. So it sounds like he practiced, right? Kamara was good to go all the way up until Friday. Sorry, Walker was good to go all the way up until Friday. So that being said, against a beatable Tennessee team, I can see him not really like if he starts, it could very well be a dud game, or they could hold him out thinking that they would beat Kenneth. So I might start Kamara. I don't like Friday injury reports. Mooney or JMO, I don't know how you start Mooney with any sort of confidence. I hope that helps. I really do. Last week I sold high on JT and traded for Cook, St. Brown, and Diggs. Oh, man. That's crazy. This guy sold JT. That's not a terrible trade, though. But I don't love Cook and his schedule going forward. But, I mean, that's a haul. Nice job. Yeah, I don't know how we start Mooney with any sort of confidence. I mean, yeah, Drake London's out. But like, did Kirk Cousins just like forget how to play football? I don't think so. So maybe he's gonna do well, but the Giants defense stinks, right? So for that reason, I think we go JMO. Sean Tucker or Rashad White. It's the same fucking team. I don't know. Last week it was Tucker. Probably this week it'll be White. Last week, Tucker went for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. What if he does that again and you have him on your bench? What if he does half that and he gets 70 yards and a touchdown? That's serviceable. Etienne or Judkins. I would Judkins against Vegas. I think they're going to run him to the ground. I don't. I think they're going to do whatever they can to lighten the load for Shador Sanders. So I would do Judkins. To pick that one too, right there, Judkins. I would not do Genty, not against the Cleveland defense. I don't want any part of that Cleveland defense. So Judkins and Emmanuel Wilson are those ones. Traded James Cook for CD. That's all right. Could do worse than CD. I don't mind it. Start Michael Wilson. I would do Wilson and Egbuka. I don't love that matchup for Pittman against Kansas City on the road in the cold. Start Mooney or Godwin. I just finished talking about that. I don't know how we start Darnell Mooney with any sort of confidence. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, okay, Drake London's out, but like, uh did Kirk Cousins just like forget how to play football? Like, that's a real thing, right? He's older now. I don't know. John PR, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Should I start Purdy or Mahomes? I mean, I don't know what's going on with Mahomes. I don't know. You might as well do Purdy. Purdy's got a bunch of his weapons coming back, playing against a mediocre Carolina defense, right? So you might as well go Purdy. I don't love Mahomes against Indianapolis, right? Indianapolis is a good defense. As much as I did read that DeForest Buckner is going to be out, so that's going to help. But yeah, no, I think we just take Purdy at home in the San Francisco sky, nice sunshine, Monday Night Football. Mahomes at home in the cold. It's gonna be cold there. Javonte Williams or CD Lamb in PPR. Just out of curiosity, who are we playing that we're benching CD Lamb? Just out of curiosity. Not that I hate it, because I actually don't want to play either of those. I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense. They made a very good Detroit Lions team look very mediocre. I would do Baker. I'm with the 49ers fan. This dude's the 49ers fan. I didn't even catch that. You're a 49ers fan? You're going to bench fucking Brock Purdy for Patrick Mahomes? Come on, man. No. What? Damn. Get out of here with that. Get that garbage out of here. But that being said, I don't love Daniel Jones' matchup on the road in Kansas against a very good Kansas City defense. In the cold, right? At the very least, Baker is okay. They're playing Los Angeles, but it's in a dome, right? And I think I like that better than I do the Daniel Jones matchup. Should I start Jacoby or Trey Tucker? I don't want any part of that Cleveland defense, especially with I guess it's going to be Geno Smith again against Las Vegas or against Cleveland. Yeah, I don't know. I'm good. I'll start Jacoby. Also, him and Trevor Lawrence have been forming quite the connection in the last few weeks, right? Did Danny leave? Are we not going to get to see who he started over CD Lamb? Not that I hate it, right? Like, I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense, but like, that's some cojones to sit your first round draft pick. Damn. Start Addison, Sean Tucker, or Yoshavash. I mean, I don't know. The obvious answer is Yoshavash, right? No Jamar Chase, but how do you sit Sean Tucker, right? Even the next one, the obvious answer is Emmanuel Wilson, but how do you sit Sean Tucker? 140 yards, 3 touchdowns last week. What if he does half of that this week, right? 70 yards on a touchdown, maybe 2, right? What if he does that again? And he does friggin' 140 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you've got 35 points sitting on your bench in Sunday Night Football, thinking to yourself, man, I could really use 35 more fantasy points. Maybe your team is so stacked that you're not going to need them, but I mean, I'm starting Sean Tucker over almost like anyone, right? Like, who am I? I'm actually considering sitting him in this one league. And that's because we have David Montgomery and AJ Brown or Sean Tucker. So I'm kind of considering sitting Sean Tucker for one of Montgomery or AJ Brown, but I'm also considering just playing Sean Tucker on the hopes that he does what he did last week, even half of what he did last week. Bam Knight or Rashad White or Tyrod Tracy. I don't really care for Tracy. You think Singletary is going to take over for him? All things being equal, Bam is the starter, so I'd probably do Bam. I don't really care for that Arizona backfield though. I don't want any part of Rashad White anymore. I've actually been reading for a couple weeks now that Sean Tucker's sort of been supplanting him. So start Chase Brown or Henderson. Don Carleone, man. I don't want to be taken out on a boat if I'm wrong in this one, and I hope I'm not. But I think we're sitting Chase Brown in this instance to play Henderson. I don't think Henderson's going to do what we want him to because Stevenson's back, so he's just going to be a thorn in our side. But I think Henderson's your answer. New England defense has only given up 50 yards to one running back all year. So like I hope it doesn't. And Henderson is going to split. But they're also playing the worst defense in the league, right? I mean, I get it, man. Chase Brown was drafted as your number one, at worst, number two running back, right? So, I mean, out of curiosity, who are we starting to sit? Our number two draft pick. Yeah, I would go with Henderson too. I hope it helps. I hope it works out. I really do. Thielen or Jalen Coker. I mean, I might go Theo Johnson. You got Jameis Winston going. Hey, no problem at all, man. Put a good word in for in with the family for me. You got Baker, man. You got Jameis Winston, man, Mister 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So Stafford or Lamar Jackson. Should I start Rico or Swift? I mean, me personally, I don't care for the Carolina offense at all. So, like, I don't want any part of it. That being said, I don't have Rico, who apparently should have been the number one overall fantasy pick, and we all missed that. Right? So, and they're playing a banged up 49ers defense. Damn, HCRR, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So I mean, I would do DeAndre Swift just because I don't care for the Carolina offense. That being said, apparently Rico is a saving grace for everyone involved, and the answer is pretty obvious in that one, right? I just shot. No way. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Lamar, Goff, or Stafford. Hey, Ted had a great game. Bryce Young threw for 488 yards. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and that's the new them going forward. Maybe they're the Carolina Panthers, and that was just a complete outlier, and they're just going to start showing us who they really are, right? So I don't know. To me, I just go with history. That's why it says. I use common sense. I use history. I use the numbers that I have, the information provided to me. The information provided is that Carolina is going to start Carolina in this week. Pray for the Bears this week. All your linebackers are out. I know. I'm starting Jalen Warren and DK Metcalf with confidence. Love it. I would do Warren. He's the starter, right? Tyler Warren, Henderson, Herbert, and Pittman. Holy Mackinac. I mean, yeah, why not? A-Chain and Stafford? Yeah, sure, why not? That's a lot going on. Start Kayshon Boutte or A. Mitchell of the Jets. I am playing against Kayshon Boutte in 2 different fantasy leagues. D, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. So I can only imagine that Kayshon Boutte is going to have the game of his life. 719 yards and 12 touchdowns is what I'm expecting. So I would start him with all of the confidence in the world. ETN, Pittman, Swift, start 2. I don't love Pittman's matchup. Hey, no problem, man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. I really do. Good luck. I don't love Pittman's matchup, so for that reason, I would leave him off the board. Is Ladd bad for fantasy? No, he's not bad. The Chargers' offensive line sucks for fantasy, so they can't pass block at all. So therefore, Herbert has no time to throw. So therefore, you get weeks like you had last week or 2 weeks ago. I think on the contrary, Ladd's actually begun to be really good, thus being a thorn in the side of Quentin Johnson and Keenan Allen managers. All right. Derek, which wide receiver rest of the season? T. Higgins, Stephon Diggs. I mean, if I don't have any New England, what is because like Cincinnati's got Baltimore coming up twice, and like as bad as Baltimore's been, they're healthy now, and so they're gonna shut him down twice over the next bunch of weeks, right? So probably Stephon Diggs now that Drake May has sort of come onto his own. I don't love, like, that's what I mean. They're playing Baltimore twice, so like I don't love their schedule like I did a couple weeks ago. Now that Baltimore's healthy, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so I kind of keep up on that stuff. But I actually have Baltimore's defense in like all of my leagues, so yeah, I don't love Higgins the way I did. Now that being said, Joe Burrow coming back is the best case scenario. So yeah. Thoughts on Caleb Williams this season? I think he's done really well. I think Ben Johnson has been really good for him. I think he has like exceeded everybody's expectations. Now that being said, he was the number 1 overall draft pick, right? So like he's got highest expectations. So like just because he's doing well, yeah, okay, he's doing well, but he still stinks. Like as far as we expected him to come out of college and be a really good number 1 draft pick and take a really struggling Bears franchise and sort of turn it around. I don't feel like he's doing that. I feel like he's gotten a lot better, and that's cool. But like, let's not start letting him off the hook. Like, let's get real here. He was drafted to be really good, and he hasn't been. Right? That being said, I have him right in my one fantasy league, and he's been really, really good. So I don't hate him. His schedule going forward kind of scares me, and that's where you're going to see the real him come out. Because I believe he's got to travel to Green Bay at some point. He's got to travel to Minnesota. And like these are division games for him, right? So to Philadelphia, to Green Bay. He's got to play Cleveland at home to Green Bay. So like that's where you're going to see the real Bryce Young, right? Yeah, he got 39 fantasy points against the worst defense in the league. 33 against the worst in Dallas, 39 against the second worst in Cincinnati, and 26 against the third worst in the Giants. But other than that, he's been kind of subpar, and they're winning with defense in the run game, which is the way that Chicago wants to win. That being said, 5, 6 comeback wins this season? So, I mean, in the fourth quarter. So that's really good, right? You guys are both dicks. Should I start Bryce Young? I mean, I don't know. He threw freaking. I got faith in Bryce as a Panthers fan. Yeah, I threw for 500 yards last week. I mean, he's facing mediocre, like a middle of the pack, injury ridden San Francisco defense, right? So. I mean, you could do worse than Bryce Young. I actually considered starting him. I put in a waiver claim for Jacoby Brissett. So I think that I like Jacoby Brissett more than I like Bryce Young. But at the same time, like, I mean, Like if it's anything like my quarterback pool over here, I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Shaw, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't want any part of those. You know what I mean? So like the only one I would consider starting over Bryce Young for real is Jameis Winston. And that's just because they're playing Detroit in a dome, right? Mr. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So I don't know, man. I see good things coming from New York this weekend. Texans showed a masterclass performance on defense. If only their offense was good. Oh my God, imagine if their offense was good. Like that defense is for real. I actually read a bold prediction before the season stating that they would, like, the bold prediction was that they would be the #1 scoring defense. And like at this moment, they are actually the #1 scoring defense. It's crazy. Will Anderson is nuts, man. Judy or DK? I mean, I don't know. I would probably go Chimere. Primo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I think that against a not very good Las Vegas defense, Cleveland's going to really focus on running the ball, and I think it's going to be the Quinchao Judkins show. I think they're going to take the ball out of Shador's hands as much as they can, just to kind of keep him on, like, try to not make him do as much, right? So BTJ out, Jacoby or Tootin for my flex. I would do Jacoby, right? Trevor Lawrence is getting better. They're getting more rapport together. They're doing well together. So I think I like Jacoby this week. I mean, Tootin's been fine, right? But he's still a backup. And what's he going to get? 10, 12 touches, maybe 13. You know what I mean? Damn, thank you for the follow. Should you trade away Jonathan Taylor? Should you trade away the best fantasy player in the game right now? I mean, it depends, right? If you can get a haul for him, I would do it. It depends. Like, trade him away for fucking Rico Dowdle? No. Trade him away for, Bijan Robinson? No. DK, Myers, or Pierce at flex. Like I was saying, I don't hate Myers, but I think DK is the answer. Chicago's got 3 linebackers out, and I think he kind of feasts over the middle of the field. I think DK is the answer. I don't love Pierce's matchup against Kansas City on the road against a very good Kansas City defense in the cold, right? I don't love that matchup. That being said, I'm starting Pierce in one of my leagues as I have to. It's really either him or Pittman. And last week I started Pittman and benched Pierce, and you know what happened then. So obviously I'm playing Pierce this week, and we know what's going to happen. But yeah, I think I mean I'm starting DK in 2 separate leagues. Maybe DK is the sit, just because of my luck. His worst 2 games came against top 12 run defenses. No, you're not wrong. And this week, I'm not actually expecting a lot from him. And I mean, if you're gonna go off of value, his value is probably the best that it's going to be. Is it a backup quarterback? I thought Rodgers is gonna play. Is he not gonna play? See where the weekend leads us. Holy, what the fuck does that even mean? I mean, if Rodgers plays, you would do DK. It says we'll see where the weekend takes us. Fuck off. Like, what kind of answer is that? I mean, if Rodgers plays DK, yeah, right? Like, ugh. If Rodgers doesn't play, I mean, I could get behind Myers because him and Trevor Lawrence have actually been getting good chemistry. So I would do that. If Rodgers plays, we'll do DK. If Rodgers doesn't play, we'll do Myers. I don't want any part of Pierce. That's my whole thing. Like I don't want any part of that Kansas City defense. 6 of 7 games with no receiving upside. You can get CMC straight up for JT. I mean, I have CMC, and I'm not giving you him for JT. So there's that. But if you can get CMC for JT straight up, I would probably do that. But like I said, I'm a CMC manager, and I wouldn't give you him for JT straight up. No, thank you. Yeah, CMC's been that good. He's got everything. Like even when he's not good, he still gets fucking 20 fantasy points. Amon-Ra and Dowdle for JT. Hey, if you're asking me personally, no. I don't want any part of Rico Dowdle or the Carolina Panthers offense at all. I hate them. I don't even want to really hear about them. I'm tired of listening about them. Now, that being said, yes, I'm a little bitter I didn't get Rico Dowdle because apparently the backup running back from Carolina Panthers should have been the #1 overall fantasy pick. Maybe we are all dumb and we missed that, right? That is a very real possibility. The other realm of possibility is that it's the Carolina Panthers. And eventually the Carolina Panthers will be the Carolina Panthers. And you basically traded Amon-Ra for JT. I also don't think Chuba Hubbard's going away. I think he's going to come back. He didn't necessarily lose his job because of performance. He lost his job because of injury. That being said, he's still a good running back. So no, I would not do that. I do not have Rico Dowdle. So maybe I would do that if I did have him. I don't know. I don't care for him. I don't think he's all of a sudden the best running back in the world. I don't think all of a sudden the Carolina Panthers are a huge thing now. I don't care for them. That being said, I would probably start Bryce Young over Dak Prescott. I don't really want any part of that Philadelphia defense. We saw them make a very good Detroit Lions team look very mediocre, and San Francisco's got a bunch of injuries on defense, right? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't friggin' know. It's the Carolina freaking Panthers. Like, are we kidding? Are we actually kidding? What's up, Alejandro? You think Lamar bounces back? Dog. That's my dog. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Hell yeah. What do I mean? Do I think he bounces back this week? He played on the road against a very good Cleveland Browns defense in a division opponent. Do I think he bounces back? Hell yeah, he bounces back. He's going to get 30 fantasy points this week. And he's not even going to do well. It's going to be wicked. Hell yeah. The only thing is I would have 4 players in the game. Brissett, Wilson, McBride, then Meyer. Oh, my God. Damn, that's crazy. Hey, man, Brissett set the record for pass completions last week, making him de facto #1 quarterback ever statistically, right? So who knows? Maybe he's been amazing all along, and we all missed that. I don't know. Thoughts on T. Higgins this week? He should be wicked. Right? New England is a lot better against the run than they are the pass. So I'm starting him with confidence. Puka, Adams, Rice, Jefferson, bench 1. Good Lord. Probably Adams because you're looking for a touchdown or 2. I mean, you got to think Jefferson is the answer, though, right? Like, J.J. McCarthy on the road against Green Bay, cold. I don't know. Like, in theory, Jefferson's the bench, but I don't know how you bench Justin Jefferson. That's crazy. Get rid of A.J. Brown, Ladd, Devontae, Nico. I would get rid of Nico. I think he has the most value of those names. Also, I don't know what happens when C.J. Stroud comes back. Like, because he's really good now with David Mills. But he was really dookie with C.J. Stroud. So, like, if Stroud comes back, I don't know. Is it good for him? What's this guy? Tucker. How do we sit Sean Tucker, man? Play him. What if he does what he did last week and gets you 35 fantasy points and you benched him? That's going to suck. What if he does half of what he did last week and gets you 70 yards and a touchdown or two? That'll be wicked. AJ Brown's going to win leagues. I think so too. I traded for him in one league. I kept him in another league. I'm actually excited to have him going forward. I think you're right. Their schedule lines up. Oh, Trey Tucker, not Sean Tucker. Ew, none of those. I'm going to start Walker and Charbonnet. Oh, damn. Would you pick up Bam Knight? You know what? I might consider just starting Walker and Charbonnet. I don't know if I want any part of Bam Knight. Hunt, Warren, or Oshavash. Do we mean Jalen Warren? Because I might consider Jalen Warren without 3 Chicago linebackers. If we're talking Tyler Warren, I might consider Kareem Hunt because no DeForest Buckner. Do I think JT will do good this week? No, I do not. Not against a very good Kansas City defense on the road in the cold. I don't love that matchup. Kamara or Juwan Jennings? I think you got to go Jennings against very mediocre Carolina defense. I would do Kareem Hunt. I don't love the Chiefs defense. And what's his face is out. DeForest Buckner. Dowdle, Javonte, or Swift, pick one. I don't know. I just went on like a 10-minute rant about Rico Dowdle. I don't care for Carolina. So like if you're asking me honestly, I mean, isn't Dowdle the answer, right? Wasn't he supposed to be the number 1 overall fantasy pick? Hasn't he been like 30 points every single game? Isn't he the answer? Because I don't know. I don't care for Carolina. I don't want any of them on my team. But I've seen the numbers, and I don't know. Isn't Dowdle the answer? Or maybe is Carolina being Carolina and we all got fooled, or our luck is all run out. Do I think JSN will do well? I think JSN does well all the time. I think he's amazing, apparently. And like if you watch the game, Sam Darnold's looking for him first, second, and third read. So like he's looking for him. Steven, what's up? What's up? I have a few starters on bye. Full PPR, pick one. And one to drop. Addison, Dubes, Pierce, Emmanuel Wilson, Sean Tucker, Kenneth Walker, Prescott, Stafford. I mean, Emmanuel Wilson's probably the wide receiver spot. Your 2 flex have got to be Sean Tucker and Kenneth Walker. And I'd probably drop Romeo Doubs. I don't know that we want to play Addison or Pierce or Dobbs this week. Sean Tucker just had a wicked one last week. I'm starting Jacoby Myers over Sean Tucker. That's wicked, man. Good for you. I hope that works out. I really do. I'm starting Sean Tucker over basically everyone this week. What happens if he gets 140 yards and 3 touchdowns again on your bench in Sunday Night Football? Probably be thinking, man, I could use those 35 fantasy points. Unless you don't, right? Unless your team's amazing and you don't even need that. Leaving 4 spots open. Against the Rams, yeah. So, and it was against the Bills last week. Aren't they good? It's still it's still in a dome. It's not like they're outside in the elements. They're in a dome. It's a controlled environment. What if he does half of what he did last week? 70 yards and a touchdown or 2. That's still 20 fantasy points, right? 18 fantasy points. Right? So I don't know. How do you sit that? Judkins. Start him against Las Vegas. I don't even know who the rest of them are. Is Alvin Kamara a start if you need to? I don't want to. If we have anybody else, I would. Fannin or Fant? Who's Fant on? Cleveland. I might go. Yeah, you know what? Wait, aren't they both? Oh no, Cincinnati playing New England. You know what? I might go Fant. I don't know that I love Fannin this week because I don't know that they'll do enough to get Shador to throw the ball enough. I think it's going to be the Quinshon Judkins show, and they're going to run him basically to the ground. So I think we go Noah Fant. Should be Joe Flacco this week again. They have a connection. Let's do it. Start to Dowdle, Bijan, or Saquon. Now imagine pre-draft in August if I told you that you're going to literally consider benching your number one overall fantasy draft pick for Rico freaking Dowdle. Mahomes or Goff, I don't know. Or maybe Dowdle should have been the number one overall fantasy pick, the backup running back from Carolina, and we all missed that. I don't know. I don't love Mahomes' matchup this week, and I don't know how we bench Jared Goff at home, right? Against the Giants defense. I know that it's probably going to be the running game, but like you got to figure at home, right? Judkins over everyone. Zay Flowers or Devontae Adams. I mean, see, I think you're looking for a touchdown or two from Devontae. I don't know that he's going to provide value otherwise. I think Zay Flowers is going to go 7 catches, maybe 120 yards and a touchdown or two. I think that's very realistic. So I would go Zay Flowers. As much as Matthew Stafford's going to throw 4 touchdowns, and like you're probably going to get those 2 touchdowns to Devontae. So like there's that, right? I feel like the Lions will keep the foot on the gas as well. No, I'm with you. You've seen them. They don't care to put up 40, 50, 60 points. They'll do it. They don't care, right? So, yeah, I feel like that too. Looking ahead, would you pick up Chargers versus Vegas or Jags versus Tennessee? I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. Who's at home? I would probably pick up whoever's at home. But that Vegas offense is so friggin' like I don't know about the Tennessee one because like I haven't seen them, but that Vegas offense is so stinky and like their friggin' offensive line can't block anybody. Bam Knight might as well take the running back. Worthy, I don't know. He's been like in a flex. Maybe I might take the upside of Xavier Worthy. But I feel like you go to starting running back with Bam. Trade Jennings and AJ Brown for Sutton and Shakir. I need not to get the last playoff. All things being equal, I think AJ Brown has the best schedule going forward, and I would probably rather have AJ Brown. That being said, there's all of a sudden a lot of mouths to feed in San Francisco. So like, yeah, I don't know if Jennings is going to return value like he did, or like we want him to, but I need to not get last. Playoffs don't matter. Oh shit. See, like, and I don't love Denver's schedule leading up to playoffs. So, like, if you're not in playoffs, I don't think I like Sutton. Yeah, I don't know if I would trade. I would make that trade. I would probably just keep my guys. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Damn, no, we definitely don't want last place. Hell yeah. Traded Keelan Allen and Jalen Warren for Kyron Williams. I'm going on a number 1 seed run. This guy gave you Kyron Williams for Keenan Allen and Jalen Warren? That's kind of a stupid deal. I guess he needs W's and he needs a wide receiver. I would have asked for somebody more than Keenan Allen. That's crazy. I mean, I don't mind it, but like I don't love LA's schedule going forward. And so I don't and also Blake Corum's gonna be a thing now, right? So like I don't love Kyron like we did earlier in the season. He needs everything. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, if I was him, I would have asked for somebody more than Keenan Allen, or just kept Kyron Williams. Because yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that. Like I would. There was at one point I was 0-7, and I needed W's, and I didn't make really any trades. But I ended up getting. I'm on a 4-game winning streak and 1 game out of playoffs. So like I don't know. Sometimes the best move is to not make any moves because at the same time, like we traded or we drafted specific guys that like we thought would do well, right? We only did what we could with the information provided. Then we find out that fucking Rico Dowdle should have been the #1 overall draft pick. It's actually crazy the amount of people that like the amount of questions that I get asked. Like, should I sit Christian McCaffrey or CD Lamb? And it's like, just out of curiosity, like who are we playing that we're considering sitting, our first 2 draft picks? And that's what it is. They'll say Rico fucking Dowdle. I'm like, are you kidding me? You got a backup running back from Carolina that we're gonna play over Christian McCaffrey or CD Lamb? Like, I mean, this week I don't care. Like, obviously I don't care for the Philadelphia defense, so it's not terrible, but like that's nuts, man. Like that to me is just nuts. What do I know, right? Apparently nothing. I know a couple things though. Actually, I don't even really know nothing. I just do what I can with the information that's provided. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But we also got fantasy hockey, basketball going on, fucking rocking out. Cider, goal and assist, damn. Dak or Darnold. I mean, I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense. 2K Legend, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know that I want any part of that Philadelphia defense. Um, they made a really good Detroit offense look really mediocre last week. So yeah, I don't. I think I would just take my chances with Darnold and then go from there. Purdy or Brissett? I mean, I don't know, man. Purdy's playing a mediocre Carolina defense at home on Monday night. How do we not like that allure? Brissett just set the record for pass completions last week, making him, in essence, de facto #1 overall quarterback in the history of NFL, right? So there's that. But yeah, I mean, I tend to lean towards the Monday night games, Sunday night, Monday night, just to give me something to watch, right? But I can totally understand if you want to play Brissett, but like Purdy's not a bad option either, right? He's got all his weapons coming back. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed either way in that one. Flex Pearsall or Yosavash. That being said, I would probably do Yosavash. I don't know that. I think there's too many weapons in. Damn, Josh Allen just joined. Yes. We can all yell at him for messing with our fantasy teams on Thursday night. Freaking jerk. Yeah, I think there's all of a sudden a lot of mouths to feed in San Francisco. You got Pearsall, you've got Shawzy, thank you for the follow. You got Pearsall, you got Jennings, you got Kittle, CMC, right? So I don't know that I love him. And Cincinnati, Jamar Chase, they've got nobody else to throw to really. New England's defense is also really good against the run, not so good against the pass. So yeah, I might start Yosavash, especially in the flex. I think we take the upside. Start Baker, Caleb. I am starting Caleb over Baker. Maybe means that Baker is the way to go. You got to figure at home against. Well, T. Higgins is not nobody, but he's not going to throw every single pass to T. Higgins. He's got to throw to somebody, right? Who else is there? I don't even know. I honestly don't even know who else there is. They have that tight end guy. I can't even think of his name. But other than that, I actually have no idea who else there is to catch passes from Joe Flacco this week. No offense. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I remember him in Denver when he came out as a first round pick. That was supposed to be the next big thing. Shannon Sharp basically in the flesh. We all know how that went. But yeah, I'm starting Caleb this week. I could get behind. I totally get behind starting Baker though because it's indoors as much as it's on the road against LA. It's still indoors, right? Broncos country, yeah, right, exactly. They got rid of Noah Fant and are all of a sudden amazing. So thoughts on Egbuka? That's what I was just saying. I don't hate. Shit. Hold on, guys. I'm getting a call. Hi. What's happening? Yeah. What do you need? You need me to stop? All right. Okay. Bye. Wow. Sorry, guys. Call from the missus. But yeah, no, I don't hate Egbuka this week. If we can avoid him, I probably try to. But Egbuka or Diggs playing Cincinnati, I would probably say that I would want to do Diggs over Egbuka and the LA defense. But I don't want to play, like a Parker Washington over Egbuka or like Jordan Addison over Egbuka. I wouldn't play that, right? Any of the Green Bay receivers, I would play Egbuka over, right? So in a specific spot, yeah, sure, I would sit Egbuka, but I don't think he's going to be bad. Shut up. Ingram is mid. We need a better. You do need a better tight end. You're not wrong. And Ingram is mid, but like Bo Nix is doing what he needs to. Cortland Sutton's been really good. That connection with Troy Franklin is working, right? And they've got another guy there too that's kind of fantasy relevant, right? So like the best defense in the league for real, man. If Surtain comes back, or is he back? If he comes back, man. Mims, yes, the punt returner. He's good too, man. Wandale or Rome? I would go Wandale. You got Jameis Winston, especially if you're in PPR. The PPR king. I would go Wandale, especially with Jameis Winston, right? 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Booyah. I am starting Mark Andrews. I'm also a Baltimore Ravens fan, so you are getting very biased opinion from me. I am starting Mark Andrews, especially against the Jets. What the hell? Yeah. If you want a biased opinion, you ask me about Baltimore Ravens fans or Baltimore Ravens people. If you want an unbiased opinion, you ask me about everybody else. I'm a Ravens fan too, and you're gonna sit Mark Andrews? Come on, man. What are we doing here? Start Etienne. I don't want any part of Genty and the Cleveland defense this week. So, by virtue of elimination, we're starting Etienne and Judkins. Do I start Pierce or Pittman? I am starting Pierce over Pittman. Last week, it bit me in the ass. I'm hoping it doesn't bite me again, but that's what I'm doing. Goff or Brissett. I don't know how. Anthony Edwards. No way. Famous basketball players asking about fantasy football on my stream. Hell yeah. I don't know how we start, or I don't know how we sit Jared Goff at home against the Giants, right? It's not a daunting defense at all. And I mean, that Philadelphia defense is for real. I don't think this is even a question if he wasn't playing Philadelphia last week. So yeah, I think we take Jared Goff. There was a guy that said earlier, and I agree with him, that Detroit's just going to keep piling it on. They don't do letting up, right? So start Theo, Loveland, Henry, lost Laporta. I would probably do Henry. Cincinnati is literally the worst against the tight end position, so I would do that. Won't sit him rest of the season. I have Henry too. You know what, man? Going forward, Mark Andrews, they play Cincinnati twice, Pittsburgh, New England. Like, this is very beatable defenses. I'm excited for all the Baltimore players this week. Is that somebody? No. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hey. All right. There's two on the ground. Sorry, guys. You gotta change the beeping mat. They're gonna be mad at me though. It looks like 2 peas on the mat with no payment. 2 peas on the mat and no payment. That's the matter, Mommy. We don't like our government over here. Yes. Michael Wilson or Alec Pierce. I don't love Alec Pierce this week. That Kansas City defense is for real. So I would probably go with Michael Wilson. Terrible day to be a beer. I believe that. Egbuka and Jenkins for Dart, Genty, Flowers. Purdy is my quarterback. I wouldn't. I think Judkins is the best player in that trade. I actually value Judkins the way that we used to value Nick Chubb, perennial first-round draft pick, argument for number 1 overall, right? So I don't want to trade Judkins, and their schedule going forward is muy bueno. So yeah, can you rate my team? I can try, man. Send it. What do you got? Anybody wicked? I'm sure your team is wicked for real. What's the record too? Are we in a playoff spot? Are we in first place? First round bye already? Undefeated? That's what I picture. Man, we're in fantasy hockey too. Freaking left 20 points on the bench the other day. Oh, and now I'm down by 10. I'm like projected to lose too. And I left 20 points on the bench. Oh, I'm so butthurt about it. Fucking rude. Then a game already played, and I can't switch my team, so now I gotta leave a guy on the bench again. Ah, my goodness. Lamar, Hendo, Warren, Puka, Pickens, Egbuka, Hunter, Bucky, and Benson on the IR. 5 and 6 in 5th place. Damn. 10-man full PPR. I mean, team's a 10 out of 10, right? I don't think that we love the team going forward, though, because for some reason, for some dumbass reason, Ramondre Stevenson is going to be a really big part of the game plan this weekend. And Mike Vrabel is not going to let us have nice things with Trevion Henderson. So, that being said, I like your team, Puka, Pickens. I mean, I don't care so much for the Dallas schedule going forward, but Pickens has been really good. Lamar, I love it. I love that schedule going forward. Yeah, I would rate it, a good 7, 8 out of 10. Like, you got good players, really good players. Just the performances, looks like you haven't had performances together. Except your receivers would have been carrying you for a couple weeks there. Alec Pierce or Wandale this week. I don't love Alec Pierce this week. That Kansas City defense is for real. And on the road in the cold. Also lost Scottaboo, Laporta, and Dobbins. Oh, man. So rude. That's wicked team then. Oh, so rude. See what I mean, too? We just can't have nice things. Fucking rude. Michael Wilson or A.J. Brown in the flex. Bam or Charbonnet. I'd probably do Charbonnet against Tennessee. Their defense stinks. Got to figure a touchdown or 2 for Charbonnet. I don't even really know what's happening in Arizona for their defense. Michael Wilson, A.J. Brown. I have A.J. Brown. It is definitely an experience. We'll say that. I don't know. Michael Wilson just got 15 catches for 150 yards last week. Are you really going to bench him for the upside of A.J. Brown? 7 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns, right? I don't know. The obvious answer is A.J. Brown playing the worst defense in the league in Dallas. But if we could just go off the obvious answers, I wouldn't have anything to talk about, really. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know, man. I hope it works out, which either way, I would probably do Wilson. Like, I would probably do Brown, but like Michael Wilson, again, things got nobody else to throw to. Yeah, AJ's such a roller coaster, man. It's like, and that's it. Like, what do you do with him? You can't bench him. You can't play him. You can't trade him. You can't drop him. Like, all of this, man. Like, come on. Lamar is him. Yes, he definitely will drop a 30 bomb. That's what I've been saying. Like, you got to figure 60, 70 yards rushing, a touchdown or 2, maybe 50 yards rushing, but like 200 yards and at least a touchdown or 2, right? Passing. That's what I'm saying. Those are realistic numbers. Conan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Slayton or Watson. I'm going to do Slayton with Jameis Winston. I don't much care for that Green Bay game. And let's get real. Watson had 2 touchdowns last week. If he didn't have 2 touchdowns last week, you wouldn't even really be thinking of him. So, yeah, against a very good Minnesota defense, division rival, I think we go Slayton. Because at the very least, like, it's indoors in Detroit, right? Indoors. Jameis Winston, Mr. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, right? So, yeah, I don't much mind Darius Slayton. I actually have him as a sleeper on my list. Speaking of Charbonnet too, Kenneth Walker got injured on Friday. Right, he showed up on Friday as an injury report. So like Friday injuries are never good, especially when he was healthy all week, and then he gets injured on Friday. So I think with a beatable Tennessee team, They could either hold him out or he could just play like a little bit. And then, especially to ruin everybody's parlays, I bet he plays a couple snaps just to like count that as a game and then ruin everyone's parlays. That's a real thing I could see. I wish I was joking. Like, I really wish I was joking and that was like a funny joke and like, haha, yeah, these guys are going to do that. But we've seen actual evidence that that is what they do. So, Theo, Hunter, Loveland. Dan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. You are awesome. Theo, Hunter, Loveland, Taylor, Waller coming back. I don't think Waller's coming back. I don't think Michael Taylor is what we need him to be, right? And unless Cole Kmet is out, Loveland doesn't really do too much. We've seen that, right? So there you go. By virtue of elimination, we're at Theo and Hunter. Those are the two that I would pick. Also, I don't think we need two tight ends, my man. I'm going to just choose one, which is Hunter Henry. If that's who you're talking about. Unless you're talking Travis Hunter, in which case he's injured, so we probably wouldn't want to pick him up anyways. I mean, I don't think he's coming back this year. They already said he's out for the year, but like he could come back, I guess. Yeah, Hunter Henry. Sharp and Shakir for Michael Wilson. I have Rice and Jamar. Nah, I don't care for that trade. I'd rather keep Sharp and Shakir. With any kind of luck, Shakir becomes something. But if Kenneth Walker goes down, Charbonnet's a league winner, right? So like he wins weeks by himself without Kenneth Walker. So yeah, I would probably keep him there. Pedro, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you? Ramondre or Trey Tucker in the flex. I don't want any part of that Cleveland defense. I don't. So I and also like the Las Vegas offense. Like, come on, man. So yeah, I would do Stevenson. You know he's gonna get at least half the carries because friggin' we can't have nice things and Mike Vrabel's gonna be a dick like that. But I like at the very least you think 40% of the carries and 40% of the carries against Cincinnati in the flex spot, you could do worse. I hope that helps. Hope it works out. AJ Brown or Alec Pierce. Oh my God, really? Hey, no problem, man. I hope that helps. I hope it works out. Imagine before in August if I'd have told you that you were going to sit AJ Brown. He was my third round draft pick, so I can only imagine he's your third, fourth. He's like your second, maybe third worst or best wide receiver. And you're going to be sitting him for Alec Pierce. I bet you didn't even know who Alec Pierce was before the season. Yeah, my third. Yeah, he's my number 2. So I get it. That being said, I don't love the Kansas City defense matchup for Alec Pierce as much as he's been doing really well. I think the obvious answer is A.J. Brown against the worst defense in the league. That being said, it's the obvious answer, so we might as well. It's probably going to be Alec Pierce this week. But yeah, I would probably do A.J. Brown. You just hope for the best against the Dallas defense. I don't love Alec Pierce against Kansas City on the road in the cold, right? That defense is legit too. So, yeah. Good Lord. What an experience A.J. Brown has been this year. Let's just leave it at that. Sure, we can all agree on that. I need advice. Metcalf, Pierce, or Yosavash. I would say if Aaron Rodgers plays, you do Metcalf. If he doesn't play, then I would do Yosavash because New England is worse against the pass and they're very good against the running. So yeah, I would do. If Aaron Rodgers plays, we're gonna do Metcalf. But if he doesn't, I'll probably do Yosavash. AJ himself said to drop him. No shit, right? And then the next week he comes out and puts up like 15 fantasy points. So like, I honestly feel like he said that just as like a squeaky wheel looking to get the grease type thing. And see, my thing with AJ is like their schedule is too good going forward, and he's too good of a player to not be able to take advantage of that schedule. So for those two reasons is why, and then of course, yeah, I made a trade for AJ Brown, and he freaking comes out and says, "Yeah, you might as well drop me." Like, well, fuck, I'm not going to drop you, and I can't trade you anymore. And but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic in the sense that I think AJ's too talented not to have a good rest of the year, and I think their schedule is too good for him to not take advantage of it. London and Waddle for A Chain. Assuming we have the wide receivers to help to hold that, I would probably do that. I don't mind it. You're going to be very thin on receiver though after that. So, yeah. Think Rudolph could use him more than Rodgers. Haven't seen good chemistry. Actually, that's very valid. Actually, I like that. I like that assessment. Rodgers is kind of a whiny baby in the sense that he wants things his way or basically no way, right? So I think I do think that you're onto something. Rudolph could be just something, or he could be just as good. Yeah, he definitely is a big A-Rod. Yeah, fuck. A-Rod on our side is what he is. Jesus. And like even watching him, man, like he looks like such a baby out there, and it like looks so he just looks like such an old man playing a game that he's like he literally looks like he should have been retired a long time ago. He just looks slow and old and whiny, and I couldn't even imagine being a teammate of his. You know what I mean? Because like everything is your fault always, and everything he does is just amazing always. And it's like, man, it's like go home, dude. Go to your fucking retreat somewhere. Trade Trendy on for Egbuka. Have JSN, Ladd, Genty, and Hampton. No. Only because I don't really care for Ashton Genty going forward. I don't care for the Las Vegas offense. You know what I mean? They're kind of dookie. I don't know, man. Whereas Trevion, you've seen that and yeah, he's going to be in a 50-50 split going forward. I get that, but I don't love Tampa Bay's schedule going forward, and I feel like you have JSN and Ladd already. But I feel like I'd rather Trevion than Genty. If we could do Genty and maybe somebody for Egbuka, I would do that. I have JSN, Rice, Franklin, London, and Waddle, but RJ, RB, and Vidal is my only RB running backs. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Then I could you have JSN, Rice, and Troy Franklin. Yeah, I could get behind that. I mean, hopefully we don't get injuries, but yeah, I could get behind that. That's cool. Abbas, I'm still stuck. Xavier Worthy, Booty, Slayton. Do Kayshawn Booty because I'm playing him in two different leagues. And I can only imagine he's going to have the game of his life, 783 yards and 14 touchdowns. Can I say an underrated opinion? You could say anything you want. I don't care. I love it. Let's do it. I say a lot of things. I got a lot to say. Is Trey McBride better than Bowers? Yes and no. I think that I think that Kyler Murray is a very bad quarterback, and I don't think that he's a good NFL quarterback. So for me, I'm actually super excited that Kyler Murray is not on the team anymore, and he can go play Call of Duty all fucking he wants, right? I would say Booty and Yosevach are the two that you probably want to play there. So that being said, I think that without Kyler Murray, Trey McBride is better than Brock Bowers. That also being said, Brock Bowers had 12 for 150 and 3 touchdowns one game with fucking Geno Smith as his quarterback, right? So if we could get any sort of competency in the quarterback position, I think both of them could be real powerhouses. But yeah, I really think that it depends on who the quarterback is. Hall or Henderson, you got to think Henderson is your answer. He's playing Cincinnati. Yeah, he's going to be in a split. But I don't love Breece Hall on the road against Baltimore. My Baltimore Ravens, I don't think so. Tet for Josh Jacobs. Somebody's going to give you Josh Jacobs for Tet? Hell yeah. Take that and run. Take it and run. That's amazing. I love it. Yoshivash is risky, but so is Slayton, right? I mean, Slayton's a good pick too. Jameis Winston in a dome in Detroit, right? You figure they're gonna be chasing points a lot. But New England's defense stinks against the pass, so that's why I would say that. But yeah, if somebody's gonna give you Josh Jacobs for Tet, oh my god, that's amazing. Do it. Hell yeah, all day. If I'm giving up Josh Jacobs for Tet, not a chance. Hell no. Chase Brown or Warren? I'm going Warren. I assume you're talking Jalen Warren against Chicago. They're missing 3 running backs, so I would do that. Chase Brown's playing New England, who has only given up 50 yards running to 1 running back all year. So, yeah, I don't think that. Jake Ferguson or Kyle Pitts. I don't love the Philadelphia matchup. I want to stay away from Philadelphia as much as I can. They made a very good Detroit offense look very mediocre. So, yeah, I don't want any part of them. Plus, no Drake London. You got to figure Kyle Pitts has to eat. Think Theo going to be better when Dart comes back. I mean, him and Dart have actually shown good chemistry. So, I think that I think it'll be really good for him to have Dart come back. But also, like, Jameis Winston, Mr. 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, right? So, like, you almost don't mind Jameis being in there. And that's what I mean, like, with regards to New York receivers, I kind of upgrade them a little bit. Yeah, they're on the road against Detroit, but they're on the road in the dome against Detroit. And that's and they're going to be chasing points all game, you would figure, right? So, yeah, I kind of like the Darius Slaytons, right? The Wan'Dale Robinsons this week, the Theo Johnsons. Those are guys that I can get on board with. Hell yeah. That being said, I would probably start Hunter. Cincinnati is statistically the worst against the tight end position, and they've given up a touchdown almost every game to a tight end. So I would do Hunter in that game. You're almost guaranteed a touchdown or 2, maybe. Because that's the thing too, right? Like, now you can see, like, Drake May passing in the red zone. Like, oh my God, Trevion Henderson got 3 touchdowns last game. Let's never use him again. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no. That being said, I like Hunter this week. Ramondre, Jerry Jeudy, or Charb at the flex, or Watson on waiver. I don't want anything to do with Watson against Minnesota. And if he doesn't have 2 touchdowns last game, I don't think that anybody's really talking about him. So I think he's very touchdown dependent, especially against Minnesota. I don't love that. I don't want Jerry Jeudy because I don't think that Cleveland's going to do very much with the ball in Shador's hands. I think it's going to be the Quinshon Judkins show, and he's going to get like 30, 35 carries. I don't think they're going to want Shador to do a lot, thus rendering Jerry Jeudy kind of moot. And then Ramondre or Charb, I mean, Kenneth Walker might not play, right? So I feel like if Kenneth Walker doesn't play, you definitely want to start Charb against Tennessee. But I could get behind either of those, right? Ramondre coming back, he's going to have a role, and playing like the worst defense in Cincinnati, or one of the worst, right? So, Yeah, I could get behind it. I would watch the injury reports. If Kenneth Walker doesn't play, it's definitely Charbonnet. If he does play, I might lean towards Ramondre playing Cincinnati, but I don't think you can go wrong either way there. I am from Canada, just outside Toronto in Oakville, Ontario. Where are you from? You loco muchacho, you. Oh, I love it. We're all loco. I love it. Would you trade Waddle and Emeka for Pierce and Jamar? Yeah. Why is this guy giving you Jamar for Waddle and Emeka? From France. Damn. Je ne comprends pas. Two. I don't know why this guy's giving you Jamar for. I mean, yeah, I would trade Waddle and Emeka for Pierce and Jamar. But I don't know why this guy's giving up Jamar. That's weird. I mean, yeah, take it. Go. Especially Joe Burrow coming back, right? To be fair, Jamar's playing Baltimore twice coming up. So, like, I don't love that matchup because I know Baltimore plays them hard all the time. And they're healthy now, too, right? So, I mean, on the surface, yeah, you want to do that. But, like, I don't know. I don't know if I love Jamar the way that we did, right? Because you don't have him this week. And then he plays Baltimore 2 out of the next 3 weeks, right? So, I don't know. Does McLaurin have any rest of the season value? I mean, if he comes back, he does. Yeah. If he comes back and what's his face comes back, Jaden Daniels, yeah, he definitely has lots of value. If they don't come back, no, they don't have any value. You know what I mean? So we just wait. Sammy, what's up? What's up? Just chilling. This guy wants to trade for Jamar Chase. I don't actually love that, though. They're playing Baltimore 2 out of the next 3 weeks. Travis Kelce for Egbuka. I mean, if we need a receiver and we're flush on tight end, yeah, I would do that. All things being equal, I might consider Kelce the rest of the season. Because with Kansas City needing wins, you got to figure that they're going to lean on Kelce. Probably, what's his face? I could hear you from Mississauga today. Nice. That's what I was trying to accomplish. Trying to get the most value that I can to everyone. Sam Darnold or Bryce Young? Oh my God. I have no idea, man. I would say probably Bryce Young after a 500-yard performance. But I don't know, man. I don't care for Carolina, so I would probably say I would do Sam Darnold against Tennessee. Trade JJ and Hendo for Trey McBride and Rico. I'm stacked at wide receiver, so I want Rico Dowdle on my team. I mean, I traded JSN for Trey Tucker. Did I win? Yes. Yes, you won. Trey Tucker is definitely the better player than JSN in that trade. Nice. That's a good trade. Get JSN off your team. He's clearly the worst one ever. Trade JJ and Endo for Trey McBride and Rico. I mean, all things being equal, I love JJ's schedule going forward. And, like, I understand the hesitancy with Hendo. But, like, I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't care for Carolina. I don't care about the Carolina offense. I don't care about Tet McMillan and his fucking 100 and whatever yards last week. I don't care about Bryce Young and his 488 yards this last week. I don't care about Rico Dowdle and his fucking 30-point fantasy games. I don't care about Carolina. All right? I'm sorry that I go off and I have a little bit of, yeah, I'm a little bit bitter I didn't get them, but at the same time, it's the Carolina freaking Panthers. So, like, no. I don't want any part of any Carolina Panther on my team. Yeah, Sam Darnold does have the potential to be a blowout. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Yeah, fuck. Then start Bryce Young. San Francisco is banged up, right? They have a bunch of defensive starters injured. They're not very good to begin with. They'll probably be chasing points. Do I start Jaylen Warren, Quizin? Who's Quizion? Who's Quizion? Travers? Jeez Louise, man. Your phone doesn't have any fucking. I don't know. I'm starting Quinshon Judkins over whatever else you have to say in that sentence. Tracy or Singletary? Neither, if you can help it. E-Rock, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. You're wicked. I mean, Singletary got the touchdowns last week, right? Tracy's listed as a starter. So I don't really know. I don't know. You decide. You have both from the same team. Start them both. Start neither. I don't know. One of them is a starter. One of them got touchdowns last week. I can't really pick. I don't know. One of them got 2 touchdowns last week. That's the one that I would be starting. I agree. Trey Tucker has elite matchups rest of the season. I know. And JSN has only been the best receiver in the league. He's obviously going to be terrible going forward. So that's a good thing that you got some nobody for the best receiver in the league. That's amazing. Good job on your part. That's awesome. Dobbs or Pierce? Neither. Do we have another option? If we don't have an option, I mean, I guess Dobbs. Christian Watson got 2 touchdowns last week. If they went to Dobbs, it would be a completely different story, right? You wouldn't even be asking that question. So I feel like Dobbs, but I don't like either of those matchups, to be honest. Would I start Booty? I would actually recommend you start Booty because I'm playing against him in 2 separate leagues, which I can only imagine means that he's going to have the game of his life. 725 yards and 13 touchdowns is what I'm expecting. 100%. There you go. Pick 2, Booty. Oh my God. Do you have anybody else? Because I don't want to play Pittman or Addison. Do you have anybody else? Frosty, which running back and wide receiver can I get to upgrade from CD and Rico? Get Derrick Henry. Try and get JJ Jefferson. Have London hurt A-Chain on bye. I have nobody. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know. I don't love either matchup. I guess maybe we go Pittman, Addison on the road against Green Bay with JJ McCarthy. You're kind of either way. You're hoping for a touchdown. Yeah, that's the only way you're really going to salvage your day. So I would do Booty, and I guess we do Pittman, right? I don't know. Juwan Johnson or Hunter Henry? I would do Hunter Henry. Damn, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. That's wicked. I do try to be funny. You gotta do a little bit of sense of humor. I don't understand what some of these guys though, man. Like for real. Did I win this trade? I don't fucking know if he won. Like I don't know. You know what? Honestly, if JSN gets hurt next week, then yeah, the guy made a wicked trade, and I'm gonna eat my words. But why would you trade the best player in the league for some nobody on fucking Las Vegas? Like, come on, man. Let's get real here. Pick 2, Odunze, Pittman, Jaylen Warren. I don't want to start Pittman, so I would do Odunze and Jaylen Warren. Hunter Henry is who I would be starting because Cleveland is the worst defense against tight ends. So I like him for a touchdown or 2. Especially since we had Josh send me a rose. Thank you. ×4. Man, I love you. You're wicked. And we can already say that You know, Henderson's not going to be what we want him to be going forward, and that's only because we can't have nice things. Like head coaches hate fantasy football. They don't like us at all. They're not going to friggin' help us out at all. If Jaden Reed comes back next week, do you think it'll be a clear wide receiver one with Watson and Dobbs in the mix? I mean, he was beforehand. I don't see why he wouldn't be. It's not like Watson and Dobbs are having career years, right? So I think that's a thing. I don't know. Is Jordan Love that good? Like, is he what we need him to be? Can Jordan Love support, 4 receivers, 3 receivers? I don't know, man. I don't think Jordan Love is that good. That's the thing. That being said, I wish I was able to pick up Jaden Reed. Callum, what's going on? Nothing much, just chilling. Stoves, Dak, or Caleb. I mean, I don't know that we want any part of. I don't want any part of that Philadelphia defense. I don't. They made a really good Detroit team look very mediocre, right? So, I think we go Caleb Williams. As good as Dak's been, don't get me wrong, and very well could be good. But I don't know if we want any part of that Philadelphia defense. You know what I mean? Because they did really well last week. Pick 2 running backs and a flex. That being said, I don't want to do Javonte. Aaron Jones. How do you not go the Aaron Jones revenge game? My 2 running backs would be Sean Tucker and Aaron Jones, and my flex would be Booty. I don't know how you start Darnell Mooney with any sort of confidence, like at all. Shavash could be good, but that's like I said, I'm playing Booty in 2 different leagues, so I can only imagine he's going to have the game of his life. 719 yards and 12 touchdowns. Trade Genty for Devontae Smith? Yes, I would. I don't care so much for the Las Vegas offense. I think they stink. Their offensive line can't block anybody, right? So, great. Yeah, and also I really like Devontae's schedule going forward too, right? So, yeah, I would consider doing that trade 100%. Now, like all things being equal, you know what I mean? Like, do we have the running back to handle that? Not like Genty's been, a killer for it, like, killing it for us. But do we have the running back? Because you're down a running back, right, and up a wide receiver. I have a 2-player league. So Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Well, Josh Allen already started, so I don't know that you're able to start him. You might be able to. I don't know that you would want to start him, though, with his 8 points that he gave us. Oh, next week. Doesn't Baltimore play Cincinnati next week? So I would go yeah. I'm gonna go Lamar next week. I don't know why you would start Josh. I mean, Josh got 6 touchdowns this week. See, that's why I like one of these like common sense thinking guys. Josh Allen gets 6 touchdowns last week, and we start him this week, regardless of who else we have. I've had so many people come on here and ask me if they start Josh Allen or somebody else. And like obviously the answer now is you should have started anybody else. But I don't know how you sit somebody that got 6 touchdowns last week. Like that's crazy. Even some of these other questions, like Michael Wilson, I don't know. He got 15 catches last week. How do you sit him? Jacoby Brissett broke the record for completions last week. How do you sit him? Like I don't know. Bryce Young got 488 yards. How do you sit him? Also, I don't want to play any of those guys. You know what I mean? Like none. None of them. Worthy or Pearsall? I think Bird Gang, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. I would do Worthy, right? Indianapolis is bad against cornerbacks as much as they got Sauce Gardner there. I don't know that. Yeah, I think Worthy, because I like Pearsall. There's a lot of mouths to feed all of a sudden in San Francisco, right? So yeah, I don't know that. Like Purdy can support all of those receivers as much as Carolina is not a very good defense. You know what I mean? But rank these four: Smith, Diggs, McMillan, Odunze. You know what? You probably have them in that. I would probably put them in that order. Smith 1, Diggs 2, McMillan 3, Odunze 4. Say what you want. I don't care about Carolina. Ted McMillan could be the best receiver in the world. I don't care. He's on Carolina. And obviously, the coach from the other team is not going to be like, your team sucks. You're going to come in here and we're just going to kill you. And we're going to shut down all of your players because you suck. He's obviously going to be like, oh, yeah, these guys are so good. Like, oh, my God, the best, basically, like in the history. So, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care for Carolina, man. Bird Gang, Warren or Tucker? I mean, the obvious answer is Warren, right? Playing a banged up Chicago defense. But, you know, what if Tucker does what he did last week and gets you 140 points or 140 yards and 3 touchdowns on your bench? What if he does half of that, you know what I mean, and gets you 70 yards and a touchdown or 2? So, I don't know. I'm starting Tucker. I don't know, man. The obvious answer is Jaylen Warren. But what happens come Sunday night if you're looking at 35 points on your bench? I did that last week, and it's not a very good sign. It's not a very good feeling. So I don't know. I might. The obvious answer is Jaylen Warren, but just, you know, if you're looking at 35 points on your bench, it's gonna hurt. Tyler Warren or Igbuka. I mean, I don't care. I don't love that Kansas City matchup for Tyler Warren. I think in a flex position where we're looking for upside, normally I think I would do Igbuka. Austin, Pittman, or Christian Watson. I mean, I don't love either. The only real thing you're asking for is because Christian Watson got 2 touchdowns last week. If he didn't get 2 touchdowns, then you wouldn't even be asking that, right? So I don't love either, but you know, if I had to choose one, I would probably do Christian Watson. But yeah, I don't care for either of them actually. Trade Bowers and Alligator for Saquon. I wouldn't. I'm a huge believer in the Madden curse. So, and Saquon is still around. With that in mind, I don't expect him to be there for the whole rest of the season. I don't wish anything on anyone. Trust me when I say that. And I hope for everyone's sake that Saquon makes it through the year all healthy and perfect. But the Madden curse is undefeated, right? So for that reason and that reason only, I am not advising trading for Saquon. However, Bowers and Alligator is still a decent offer. E. Wilson or Tucker? I mean, if Jacobs plays, that's an easy answer. If Jacobs doesn't play, that's an easy answer. So there you go. That's your answer. Myers or BTJ as the Jags are going forward. I haven't seen either play. I mean, I don't know if BTJ is coming back, right? So I might, I might do Myers. He's sort of that slot guy. He kind of catches like everything. He's gotten good rapport with Trevor Lawrence now, so yeah, I might consider Myers. Tootin or Etienne. I mean, I don't know. One's the starter, one's not. I feel like there's your answer. Mahomes or Darnold. I don't know. I don't love Mahomes anymore, right? What's happening over there? Are they stinky all of a sudden? Are they going to get back to being good? Indianapolis is a good defense. They don't have DeForest Buckner, so I don't know. The obvious answer is Sam Darnold, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Pearsall or Godwin. I feel like there's too many mouths to feed in San Francisco. So for that reason, I would choose Godwin. I don't know how we start Godwin with any sort of confidence, though, for real. Puka losing touches plus Tucker and Barner for Bijan, Judy, and Gadsden. No, I don't love Bijan's schedule going forward. And now with Drake London out, I don't know. Did Kirk Cousins just forget how to play quarterback? Right. So I don't know. I would rather not have Bijan on my team right now, as much as I do have Bijan on my one team. Have both Myers and BTJ. Which one should I pair up with? Troy Franklin, trade for Diggs, or no? I mean, you might be able to get BTJ for Diggs, right? I would do that. Hell yeah. Trade Rico for Waddle. Somebody's going to give you Jalen Waddle for Rico? Hell yeah. I'm going to put that another way. Somebody's going to give you Jalen Waddle for the backup running back in Carolina? Hell yeah. Do it up all day, baby. I don't care for Carolina Panthers. I love this guy. Bordeaux, my dog, getting rid of Carolina Panthers. Everybody else, I want to trade for them all. Rico Dowdle. Shut up. I'm fucking bench Christian McCaffrey because I got Rico Dowdle. Okay. Ethan, I would choose Booty because I am playing against him in two separate leagues, which I can only assume is going to mean that he's going to have the game of his life. 658 yards and 14 touchdowns is sort of what I'm expecting because, why not? Start Pittman or Michael Wilson. One of them got 15 catches last week. The other one plays a very good Cincinnati defense on the road. Kansas City defense. So, I mean, I feel like the choice is obvious. 80, trade away London, Lamar, and Rico for CD, Genty, Bucky, Sam Darnold. I have Goff. Nah. I would, if you could trade away London and Rico for CD and Bucky, I would do that. 100% I would do that. Leave all the rest of that garbage. Because we want to keep Lamar. Lamar's wicked going forward. His schedule's like nothing. He's got Cincinnati twice. Pittsburgh, New England. Like, these are winnable games. Very winnable games. So, no, keep London. Hey, get rid of Goff if you have to. Whatever. But, yeah, I would do that. Try London and Rico for CD and Bucky if he'll do that. That'd be wicked. But I would do the 2-for-1. Judkins over everyone this week, playing a very shasty Las Vegas defense at home with a backup quarterback. I think they're gonna run him 35 times. I don't think they're gonna I think they're gonna try and keep the ball out of Shador's hands as much as they can. But yeah, Judkins is like my man going forward. I don't have him anywhere, and I'm upset. Like, I'm valuing Judkins like we used to value Nick Chubb, right? Perennial first-round draft pick, argument for number 1 overall every single year, right? So I like Judkins going forward. And I don't feel like Trevion's gonna be what we want him to be anymore. I feel like I don't know, man. I like head coaches, they don't like fantasy football, right? And we don't normally get to have nice things. And so I feel like the return of Ramondre Stevenson is gonna be shitty for us. Or for Henderson. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't know. Double tap if you guys like that, if you guys appreciate it, if you think that this is something that you enjoy. Share this with your friends. Anyone you think might find this stuff valuable, get some enjoyment out of it. I try to do my best. Oh well. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the input. Thank you for the hanging out. Thank you for the back and forth. You guys are wicked. Go ahead, hit that follow button. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this with your friends. Anyone you think might find this type of stuff valuable. Let's make it happen. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend. Good luck in your fantasy matchups, and I hope you guys have. Or I look very forward to seeing you again.